Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dear student. Today I'm here to finalize our last part of developmental domain of adolescent. So remember, we have already discussed about the physical development, social development, cognitive and intellectual development. We have also discussed about the emotional, and today I want us to finalize our model by discussing about the moral development. So what is that? And remember, moral is very, very important for the adolescent, because without understanding the moral development, then we can't help them in the society, in school, and everywhere where we have the group of people, we call them adolescents. So what is moral development? Moral development is a gradually development of an individual concept of right or wrong. We say that it's all about the conscious, religious, values, social attitude, and the certain behaviors. So it is a kind of development which influence a person to understand what is wrong and what is right, what to do and not what to do in the community. And in this part now, our student or our group of adolescents, they have right to understand all about the religious. They have to understand their own religious. So the parent or the society should teach them which religion they are belonging, so that they can learn what their religion said. For example, in our society, we have Christianity, we have Muslims, and also we have traditional, and we have non-believer. So an adolescent should understand they belong in which group. They have to understand their values, their culture, their traditions, what to do, not to do, how to greet the parents, how to greet the elders, how to treat them, and the like. Also, they have to understand the social attitude, which community they are in, and the social values. So that's all about the moral development definition. So we have a psychologist known as Kohlberg. Kohlberg spelling is Kohlberg. This psychologist who introduced this theory known as Kohlberg theory of moral development. And in the particular theory of Kohlberg, he introduced the level of development. There are like 3 levels, and in each level, there is 2 steps in the particular level. For example, level 1, it's called the pre-conventional. And in pre-conventional, there are 2 steps, step 1 and step 2 of development. Level 2, it's called conventional level. It contains step 3 and step 4. And also, there are level 3 post-conventional. There are step 5 and step 6. So can we go together and learn how this theory explain it about especially in the group of adolescent. Starting with the level 1, I said it is known as pre-conventional, or we said pre-conventional morality. And it takes children from age 0 to 9 years old. So at this level, remember I said it contained 2 steps. Step 1, it's called the obedience and the punishment. That is stage 1 of pre-conventional. Obedience and the punishment. In this part then, the child learn how to obey rules in order to avoid punishment. So in this particular stage, you find a child obey order. When the mother said, please, I don't like this behavior, I don't like this, I don't like this. The child may obey in this particular age because he scared to be punished by his parent or guardians or elder brother or elder sister. At this stage of obedience and punishment also, obey superior authority and allow that authority to make the rules, especially in that authority has the power to inflict pain. So you find a child of 0 to 9 years old obey the law at home, obey what the parent said, what the mother said, because he don't like to be punished, and because he understands that once he reject the rule or he not doing a particular task which the mother or the father told him or her to do, then the pain will follow. So the child decided to obey. That's why we said in this pre-conventional morality, stage 1, we call it obedience and punishment. So once the child obey, then it will never be punished. But if he or she never obey a certain rule, a certain task, then the punishment will follow. Stage 2 in this level, we call it naive egotistically. Naive egotistically. What does it mean? In this stage now, the child view and judge actions based on how they serve individual needs. Reciprocity is possible, but only if serve one's own interest. Will do a favor only to get favor. So in this particular stage now, the child advances because he do a certain thing so that he can receive maybe a gift or any favor. Because, for example, you may find some parents said, greet your uncle so that I can give you soda. Give your uncle so that I can give you a candy. So the child learn to greet so that he or she can receive a candy. But psychologically, this one, we put questions because you can see later how we need a child to do. Can we jump to the level 2 of Kohlberg moral development theory? We call it level 2 is conventional morality. And it involves the group of children or the group of people from 10 years to 15 years old. Remember now, this is the age of adolescent. So majority of adolescent fall in this age. And this conventional morality contains stage 3 and stage 4. So stage 3 is known as good boy, good girl orientation. Good boy, good girl orientation. You know, in this stage now, find peers to approve, very important. You may find adolescents now move on or move away from the family. Remember the previous one, adolescent or a child want to be not punished. But this time being of stage 3, the child feel that intentions are important as needs. Therefore, they begin to put himself or herself in another shoe and think from another perspective. For example, maybe their fellow adolescent can say, "Wow, you are very beautiful." So the child now can adhere or can follow the one who tell him or her that he's a beautiful or handsome. And remember, the child at this stage want to be approved. Oh, you have a very good shape, very nice. You are tall, you're handsome. You have this and this and this. And because parent at home, maybe they forget to tell them that they have this and this and this, because they have many tasks to do, maybe. But once they meet their fellow student, their fellow adolescent, starting like, "Wow, you are beautiful. You have good eyes. You have good legs. You have good shape. You have good hair. You have good this and this and this." Then adolescent now, oh, like to be a good girl or like to be a good girl. That's the meaning of this stage. But stage 4 is law and social order. After passing through this stage of good girl and good boy, the adolescent now start learning the law and the social order away from the parents. The adolescent now should adhere the national rules and regulations. And if they break the law, then they can find themselves to the court. Then at this stage 4, they believe in rigid rule that should not be changed, respect authority and obeyed without questions, support the right of the majority without concern for those in the minority. So you see now, an adolescent not only like to be a good girl or good boy, but also they now understand their Tanzania or any national rules and regulation. And they understand now there is a authority in the society. Like they have there is a court, there is a police, there is a what tunasema katiba ya nchi, and there is other stuffs which make sure that if they break it, then they will end up to the consequences. So passing these all stages is very, very important. If the adolescent escape these stages, they can find themselves in jail. And then they can say, maybe no one told me to adhere or to obey the rule. But this stage is very, very important for them to understand. And the last level, level 3, we call it post-conventional morality. This stage, post-conventional morality, it is from 16 years old and above. At this stage, there are stage 5 and stage 6. Stage 5, legalistic social contract, is motivated by the beliefs in the greatest amount of good for the greatest number of people. They believe in consensus, everyone agree, rather than in majority rule. So you can find now an adolescent advance from where they want their only opinion to be observed in their fellows. But now an adolescent learn how to reach in consensus with everyone. Adolescents now learn how to listen their fellows, their parents, their society, so that they can understand what the society need, what they don't need. Then they can adhere, and then they can perform a certain activities. After the end of stage 5, then there are stage 6. Stage 6, we call it universal ethical principles. Believe that there are high moral principles than those presented by social rules and customs. Because an adolescent now started move away from home. Majority of adolescents now go to the boarding, go to the outside their countries, move from one part of the world to another, from one region to another. So they meet different people. So in willing to accept the consequences for disobediences of social rules, he or she has been rejected. Because now he understands that once not are there any rule, any authority, he or she can end up into trouble. Therefore, for us teachers, can you go and read more how this morality is very, very important for you? How is it very, very important for a teacher to understand this moral development? What do you think? What do you think that is the consequences? But I advise both teachers, parents, guardians, religion leaders to make sure that they rule this adolescent group in a way that they can understand what is right, what is not right, what is required, what is accepted in a certain tradition or culture, and what is not accepted in a certain culture. And majority of adolescents, they learn from these social medias. And we have to tell them, majority of people in social medias, they're trying to show the good way of their lives. But for them, they have to learn the good way and bad way so that they can choose. They can know disadvantages. For example, in our culture, we are not allow a girl to wear like half-necked. But our adolescents nowadays, they cop from other culture. So we need to tell them, in our Tanzania culture, we are not allowed someone to be like, to wear like half-necked. Someone not to obey the law, elder law, society law. And in Tanzania, we expect that everyone have the religion so that they can know the thing which accepted in a certain religion, so that they can practice it, so that they can be a good citizen. So we expect that our adolescent could learn the katiba ya nchi, could learn the different bylaws surrounding in our society. Why? So that they can know how to go in and how to go out in a community. So, dear student, I think you have been enjoyed learning this module. And I think you are going to, I hope that you are going to help to use it in your day-to-day lives as an early adult, so that you can help the adolescent surrounding you. And I hope that you are going to use it in a school day-to-day teaching and learning activities. Thank you very much for being with me in this module. I wish you all the best. Bye.